That's how I was brought up. Is when you finish football, do you want to be rich and famous, or do you want to be remembered? And I've grown up with the mentality you want to be remembered, and I think here it just appealed to me so much that there is no history at the club because it's so young. And if I can leave here, and I don't really look at it this, hopefully it happens this year, but I look at it in the time I'm at Toronto. I hope that when I leave, I'm remembered for obviously good things, and I don't think that's too hard at this club, because everything you do right will probably be remembered, because it'll be the first time it happens. The club hasn't qualified for the playoffs. It hasn't had any success, if you like. So the first time it has success, I want to be standing there. When I finish my career, and I probably won't live in Toronto, I'll be at home. It'd be nice to think there'll be people in Toronto maybe still mentioning my name, and I'm remembered. That's all you want to be as a footballer.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending today's press conference. Also like to welcome those watching on Goal TV Canada and TorontoC.ca. Format for today's press conference will be opening statements from both gentlemen at the head table. We'll open it to questions, and both men will be available for scrums following that.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, it's an emotional day for me today, because I decided to retire. I think it's the best for the club and for me, because I think I need too much time to get 100% fit again, and so we decided to do this, and okay, that's it.
Thorsten, he got to that stage in his career where it was looming on me as well when I hit to the end, is that you've got all this wealth of experience, you've got all this knowledge of the game, and sometimes your body can't do what your mind sees, and you could see it. And to his credit, he was trying so hard physically to do it, but through his hip and the operation, you could just see.
It's okay for me, because I think I had a great career, and I'm a player. I work always hard, and yeah, now okay. My hip, my body is maybe too weak now for professional soccer career. So it's okay for me. I feel good with this decision, and I hope, and I'm pretty sure Toronto will have a lot of success in next years. And okay, I'm a little bit sad because I won't be a part of this, but okay, I told it before, I feel good and I'm happy with my decision.
Moving on after that, you know, he's now has got to channel that experience and that knowledge from a player to a mentor or a teacher or coach of the game, because there's not very many human beings on this planet that's done what he's done.
There's going to be a lot of changes, additions. Right now we're below the roster limits, so there'll be some other additions as well. There's a young player named Jonathan Osorio, who's from the Greater Toronto area, who's really impressed.
Yeah, we were in talks, and they were just telling me I had a great preseason, and they were very happy with me and keen on signing me. And so that's when we started talking about it, and finally it happened just yesterday. And honestly, it's a dream come true to play for your local club.
every squad should always be evolving. No matter when you're fixed, you've got your perfect 11. You know, the game of football just keeps moving so quickly that if you say that you're happy and that you're set, then generally, you know, the game's moved on. And so you always got to keep looking. You always got to keep evolving.
We are going to be, even this weekend, we're going to be younger and faster than we've been in the past. Now, we certainly want to try to add some experience and quality, preferably young experience when we can. I'm very confident that the group that we have now already is fitter and more focused and more disciplined than they were last year. And I think that we're going to be adding some real quality players to the mix. There'll be great competition for positions on this team. And it will be a meritocracy. The players that deserve to get on the field will get on the field. So we're excited about our group.
Vancouver made it to the playoffs a year ago, and in the off-season have strengthened. They have got some players in who are dynamic, young, athletic. They're going to be a side that is full of energy, and I think the first 15 or 20 minutes is going to be a massive period of this game, because I fully expect the Whitecaps to come out at a very high tempo and try and push Toronto FC back early on.
It's time for some Canadian sports history on TSN.
Vancouver-born Terry Dunfield will look to win the battle in midfield, and two players who were in the Swiss League last season will be key to Vancouver's attacking plans.
I go out with the mentality and play I know it's an old cliche, but play every game like it's your last.
And senior level Boxall. Pimiento's ball through for Dunfield! Terry Dunfield, born in Vancouver, scores on the opening day in MLS for the Whitecaps.
Take that into training, and yeah, and I hope that attitude that I have towards the game's infectious and rubs off on the other players.
Torsten Frings has a goal on the night. Here he is with this delivery in towards the 6-yard box, and Toronto FC have their winner right at the end, and it's Terry Dunfield who celebrates. The former Whitecaps player enjoys this moment.
It's easy to say make the playoffs. I mean, but I think if we can be in the mix come sort of September, you know, as a team, I think that's what our focus will be.
You talk to Ryan Nelson and he has a plan, and it's that confidence that he has in the plan and where he's going to get that I think Toronto FC fans can look at and say it might be a difficult few weeks to start the season, but we've got someone who knows where he wants to get and has a good idea of how to get there.
It's like anything. You can teach a person how to be a good businessman and, you know, a good teacher or all that, but unless you get in the classroom or get out in the real world, it's, you know, that's when you learn your lessons. And the good ones, you know, generally you tell them once and they'll do it 100 times.
First and foremost, the team has to be better defensively. They conceded the most goals in the league 2 years ago, then broke their own record for conceding goals in MLS last season. So Ryan Nelson has to get that right, and that's his expertise. That's where he has plied his trade as a central defender. So he's going to be able to affect that and help the players around him.
It's sort of a catch-22 in one way. It's a very defensive system, but on the flip side, it's a defensive system that's set up to be an exciting attacking team.
I think it's going to be about trying to get a solid back line, keeping it settled, because there have been, whenever you concede goals, there are always lots of changes at that back line. And I think if you can get stability and if you can get those players well organised, then that's half of the battle.
Now this is the story all about how my life turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the principal of a town called Bekker.
It's like a tradition, I suppose, and it's a good icebreaker, but the young lads, the rookies sort of in the team, first years, had to answer a few questions first and then sing a song and entertain us.
About a day. Cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
They were good sports, and some of it's very funny, and it entertains us and also breaks the ice for the young lads coming into the team and makes them feel part of it. So no, it's nerve-wracking for them, but no, they were fantastic, and no, it's some good laughs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely helped sort of calm the nerves, I think. I mean, a little bit of fun with the guys before the game. It's nice, everyone kind of comes out of their shell.
Gale, I suppose. Gale danced, and he can move, to be fair, and he did a few nice moves I wouldn't dream of doing. I'd probably put my hip out doing them, but no, they were all great, and it's fantastic for team spirit.
Anybody selling tickets? Anybody need them?
I think sports for the city allows the people of Vancouver to express themselves in a way that they don't otherwise. They can be a little reserved and quiet and polite, and I think sports, whether it be cheering for the Canucks, you know, whether it be Burrows getting a smack in the face, whether it be the Southsiders screaming, whether it be G. Roy with the Lions, it gives Vancouverites a way to express themselves and get out of their shell in a way that other events here don't.
This was one of the more nervous games I've ever had. I mean, it was exciting. I mean, it wasn't being scared by any means, but it was like the good nerves. I mean, I was ready. I was anxious to get the game started and kind of get my first touch on the ball and get it underway.
You can try and help players as much as you can, but eventually they've got to experience it for themselves. It's only after they've kind of been in the fire, you know, that's when you really learn.
I've obviously played football for like a few years now, so whatever manager comes in, whatever GM, president, whatever you want, personally I'll never change, as in I have a set way of preparing for games. I think it's everyone, each to their own. Some people are listen to music, or they want to get hyped up. Some people, the opposite, want peace and quiet. Football is completely a team game, but I think how you prepare for the game is just down to yourself. So I've done this. I have the same routine that I've had my whole career, and it doesn't really matter what and it doesn't affect you what manager's in. Certainly the way the manager wants to prepare for games now through team talks and that is excellent. Everyone knows exactly what's happening in a game. There's no stone left unturned, if you like. But for me, I like being boxed away. I like to be on my own. I don't like, obviously before you're in the dressing room, I mean I like peace and quiet, where you'll get other guys that want blaring music and they want to be jumping about, and that's their choice. So certainly football, as I said, is a team game, but the way you prepare for games, everyone will be different.
Ryan Nelson as a player was one of those players who would leave everything out on the pitch, would help the people around him, would just battle and grind things out for his team, but he was also an accomplished central defender. So I think what we can expect from his team in the short term is that they will certainly be well organised, they'll be strong defensively, but there's no doubt that they're going to have to bunker down the first few games until he gets this team looking the way he wants. certainly on the road with this opening game in Vancouver against a team that last season made the playoffs, it's going to be one of those games where they first and foremost have to all be together on the same page and fighting for each other, and it's going to be a team effort. They can't afford any weak links out there when they take the pitch against the Whitecaps.
Some people play for money, some people play because they love it. I play because I love it, but I want to be remembered. I don't want to just play football and when I finish it's up. I want to be spoken about.
I want to go out every single game.
I want to be regarded
first goal, by everything on the field.
Personally, I want to
make the playoffs. I think the biggest thing is just trying to get into the playoffs, to get into the Champions League. But I think playoffs will be great.
Well, being my first year as a professional and first year here at Toronto FC, for me, it's been to initially break the first 18, the guys who travel, and then sort of be in the, and I guess say the next 14, I say in the guys who come off the bench, and then eventually to be a starter, get as many appearances as I can coming off the bench, or whether it's starting, like I said, just with the team.
All set for kickoff at BC Place. Toronto FC in red heading into their 7th season in the league against Vancouver Whitecaps, who made the playoffs for the first time last season.
At Toronto, I hope in 30 years' time I'm visiting Toronto and someone says you were part of the team that was the first to qualify for the playoffs or the first to win a cup. That's the goal.
Nelson in charge of this Toronto FC team now. His first game as an MLS head coach, having made the switch from just a month ago playing in the English Premier League with Queen's Park Rangers. And a big job on his hands. Toronto FC conceding a league record 62 goals last season, breaking their own record set a year earlier, just 4 clean sheets. But that is something that you would expect to be a massive improvement this year with the guidance of Ryan Nelson, the organisation he has, and with the experience of Danny Califf being brought into the lineup. When OD arrived last season, the season was already long over in terms of any chance of playoff qualification. He said he used the last few games of last year as a way to just ease himself into Major League Soccer, get to know the league.
I think that partnership with Danny Califf at the back could be something for Toronto FC to build on. There's no doubt that he can be better defensively than they were last year. Those two players, if they can stay healthy and strike up a good partnership, that could be a platform for the team to build that defensive solidity that's been lacking for the first 6 seasons of Major League Soccer.
I mean, we came out strong. We had a very good first half. I think initially people, well, just from what was being said, and I guess Vancouver comes in the game and they sort of thought they were going to take it to us, but we held our own and we sort of pushed them, which was good. I mean, we had a very positive first half.
Bekker had a really good MLS combine.
Taken number 3 overall in the Super Draft this year. High hopes for Kyle Bekker. Nelson told me he really likes it. He likes his attitude, he likes his desire, his willingness to compete, but he's a young player, obviously coming into his first professional game. There's no doubt that Kyle Bekker has all the tools to go on and be successful for Toronto FC.
And then in the second half, they did exactly what we knew they were going to do. They were going to come at us. They came at us, they did very well in the second half, and we were defending, we were under it for a bit, and unlucky to concede a goal.
Lovely ball through to Kobayashi, goes to Kofi! Gershon Kofi scores for the Whitecaps to finish a lovely move. And it's advantage Vancouver on opening day at BC Place. A change coming up soon for Toronto FC. We might see Emery Welshman come on.
When you get the call to go there, you know you got to get serious. You know it's time that you're about to go in. And for me, it happened to be my professional debut. So while he's telling me all the information and stuff, I couldn't help but like feel the nerves of that I'm about to go in, that this is a big moment in my career, in my life.
And it's going to be Emery, Welshman, a draft pick this year, who grew up a Toronto FC supporter, replacing Robert Earnshaw.
I guess for like the first 15 seconds, I guess, you really are soaking it in. You're, I guess, in the back of my mind a little bit, you know that like your friends at home are probably watching this on TV, that they're seeing you go in and stuff. So that really does go through your mind, but not too long, because you know it's about to be business time. You're about to do what you do, which is play soccer. So I was just ready to go on the field and hopefully contribute.
What they'll find is they've been the best player on their team since they're the age of 5. But once you get into a solid pro environment where there's players that are extremely good, the world becomes a lot bigger pretty quickly. And so the mental aspect of that is how do you cope? You know, how do you cope? You know, all of a sudden, being a bit of a smaller fish in a bigger pond.
Scorer Gershon Kofi, as the referee checks his watch, just a few seconds remaining now. Danny Caleb plays this one back for Joe Bendick. It is full time at BC Place. Vancouver Whitecaps start with a win, 1-0 against Toronto FC.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the result that we wanted, but you know, it was something I'll never forget.
It's not easy losing at any time, but I think there were more positives than negatives today. I think generally we played quite well, and I think we maybe limited them to 1 or 2 chances, and unfortunately that chance they stuck away. We've got some talented players to come. A couple of the boys have just joined up with us with Premiership experience, so like you say, the long-term picture looks bright. It's important that we don't get too down now, and come our home opener next week, we're ready to go.
Vancouver is a team who plays very similar to Kansas City, just in their formation and their style of play. They like to keep the ball, have possession for long amounts of time, so we have to be disciplined in our defending, and we showed it very well tonight. Yeah, we were unlucky with the goal, but there's a lot of positives to take into the next game.